Hi, today is going to be the second time I'm going to talk about Brexit. This time about my personal view, not having anything to do with science. This is Monterey, and this is my car run. So people in UK are going to vote in less than a month whether to stay or not to stay in the European Union. This is a very important decision, and my first complaint is that citizens of the Commonwealth living in the UK can vote, whereas citizens of the European Union living in the UK cannot vote. And that is kind of silly because Brexit will affect citizens of the Commonwealth, but it will affect more citizens of the European Union. This is obviously, they didn't let us vote. It's kind of difficult to understand because I can't vote who is going to be my next mayor, but I cannot vote if I'm going to be allowed to stay in this country. But let's move to the big issue. Should the UK stay in the European Union or should it leave? This is my personal point of view. So everything I'm saying, I am the only responsible for that. After living in Spain for, let's say, 30 years, more than 30 years, and having listened to the nationalist arguments about just being Catalonia or Galicia being independent, all these arguments of the Brexiters sounds like that. They sound like if Britain leaves the EU, Britain is going to be like a happy Arcadia, a paradise in which everyone is going to be walking, holding hands, everyone is going to be rich. As we say in Spain, they are going to tie the dogs with sausages, and everyone is going to be so happy. But in the same way as the nationalist argument, there is a big abyss in front of Brexiters. So if the UK leaves the European Union, or if Catalonia leaves Spain, or if Scotland leaves the UK, they don't know what is going to happen because it's a unique situation. Everything they are saying about what is going to happen is just imagination. I have received a few comments on my former Brexit video, and they were saying that, well, if Britain leaves the UK, the money coming from the ERC can be just found because the European Union cost us so much money, so that money can be used to do research, which again is this happy Arcadia where everyone is happy, and then you will have like a reasonable government that will invest in research and development. But that's out of the point. But when I told them, like, can you show me your calculations? I want to see how you calculate how much money the European Union is effectively costing us. And there was no answer for that. They don't have any calculations because everything will be fine, guys. We are going to be the strongest country in the world. And we alone are going to defeat all our problems. And then there's the second thing that Brexiters omit normally, and is the human factor. So if you are in a relationship and you want a divorce, and you are the one who wants a divorce, don't expect the other part to treat you nicely. That's the human factor. So they expect that, okay, European Union, bye-bye, we don't want to be part of you any longer, and they expect the other part to come kneeling down and begging them to stay. And already there have been so many concessions given to the UK that is just a good girlfriend or boyfriend that has forgiven the cheaters so many times, and that is going to be, okay, this is the last time, go away, leave me alone. So when the UK leaves the European Union and then ask to renew all the trade agreements with the European Union, what would you expect the European governments and the European people are going to be asking the governments to do with Britain? Like, I don't say swear words in this video, but it's a big swear word. Like, okay, go and yourself, Britain. You wanted to be alone, so just alone yourself. And they expect just knocking on Brussels, and they expect Brussels just, okay, let's make a commission to just negotiate this trade agreement with you, and it's going to be fast. We all know that Brussels is not fast. They say that Brussels is not fast. Why is going to be fast with them? So we have imagination, like the world is going to be a happy place with the UK on its own. Then we have the human effect. Then we have some intricate domestic problem. I don't like nationalists at all, but I have to give the Scottish Nationalist Party a point here, because last year or 2 years ago we were bombarded with the fact that if Scotland leaves the UK, then they will leave the European Union and they will have to reapply to be part of the European Union. And here's the funny fact that no one says. So if the UK leaves the European Union, because Scotland is already a territory of the European Union, what can happen is that Scotland declare a referendum. The referendum in this case probably will go like, yes, we don't want to be part of the UK, we want to be part of the European Union, and they have all the right to remain part of the European Union. So that would mean that it's not going to be Britain alone in the world, it's going to be England and Wales and Northern Ireland. Considering that Wales and Northern Ireland don't do the same as Scotland. If you're a little bit conspiranoic, like I am, and you think this is like, all the powerful people in the world are just asking me just to vote to stay, think about all the good things the European Union has brought to the UK. First of all, human rights. Second of all, the quality of water and the sea, the rights in the working place, the metric system. I'm crazy about the metric system. The trade between countries, this freedom of trade between or movement between countries have increased the wealth of all the countries in the European Union. Think about it. And many of you will think like, what is this guy speaking with that strong accent about what should my country do with their position in the world? And the short answer is because I really love this country. And I think it's for the best of the UK to stay in the European Union. But, just playing devil's advocate, if the UK decides to leave the European Union, then guess what? I still get my European passport. I still get one of the best passports in the world. I can still go and work in Germany. I can still go and work in Belgium, whereas you don't. You can't. And there is another thing. I mean, considering the history between England and Spain, you can say like, okay, the UK leaving the European Union is just the best revenge for Trafalgar ever thought, because it's not us kicking them out, because it's them shooting themselves in their feet. But the short answer is because I love this country and I really think it's better if we stay in. UKIP, and I prefer not to speak about the UKIP because it probably will give me a heart attack in this state. Water and beaches, beaches sounds weird.